I've been told by some people, why didn't you go in your second year, second semester? Oh, I know the best time is third year, first semester. Oh, well, I think that your final year is worth it. Or, oh, it's not worth going on Erasmus if you're not going there for 1 year. All of these things doesn't matter. Hello everyone. My name is Janina and welcome to the next episode of The Shift. Today we'll be talking about how to choose when to go on Erasmus and where. When you're choosing where to go, you have to know how priority is given. Priority is given to the higher standing. Basically, the ladder is on top are the people who are in their final year, third year, second year, and finally first year. So when you're applying, this means that if it is a destination that is desirable and a lot of people go and you're lower standing, chances are that you might not be able to get in, not because your essay is bad, not because you are not good enough or whatever. It's because of your standings. And I know that a lot of times you don't know with whom you're competing and if there's anyone else that is applying. That's why there are three choices for places that you can go. If you want to go with another person, you have to consider again when is the best time to do so and where. What we did was we went to Maria and we asked her, can you tell us like which destination gets less demand so we can put it on our third choice, so we have a guarantee that whatever happens at the end, we can go together. Again, some kind of guarantee that this could happen. Another thing is people are constantly thinking about courses, and it's normal. I was the same. And when it comes to courses, my pro tip is to go on Empower, look for transfer courses, and in the menu you can see a lot of universities to which in the previous years people went, and you can see what kind of courses they took. This is no guarantee that these courses will be the same, but it will be a good starting point to see what kind of things were offered and what people took. My advice is that you save your electives for the Erasmus semester because they're way easier to be approved than the courses that are mandatory. This means that looking into the course selection, you might choose some courses that you are interested in, but you always have to keep in mind that this doesn't mean that you will get into them. When you are choosing when to go, in which year, in which semester, I know that for some majors, required courses are not given every semester. For example, if you are modern languages major, let's say in French or Spanish, whatever, there are certain courses that are required but are given once every 2 years or only fall semester. Plan when these mandatory required courses are given in AUBG and see where, in which semester it will be best for you to go on Erasmus. I've been told by some people, why didn't you go in your second year, second semester? Oh, I know the best time is third year, first semester. Oh, well, I think that your final year is worth it. Or, oh, it's not worth going on Erasmus if you're not going there for 1 year. All of these things doesn't matter. everyone should choose based on their own preferences and the things that are happening around them. If you, let's say, want only one university, you don't want to go on Erasmus. If it's not that specific one university, my advice is to apply as many times as possible. You can apply for Erasmus 3 years and not go. But again, things happen and it might not be possible. So it's tricky. Erasmus is very tricky because you never know, and it's all some kind of schemes, but you should understand how the system works. Another thing when choosing when exactly to go is it going to be fall semester or spring semester? In fall semester, there is this tricky situation where our uni starts earlier. Let's say it's usually around 20th of January, and European universities usually start their exam season there. My uni, for example, has its exam period from 13th of January until 13th of February. And this is a big deal because there might be a time conflict with AUBG. Not that this is something that it should stop you. Usually professors agree, because you are an Erasmus student, to give you the exams earlier. But this is something that you should know. It's not in every university. Some universities finish earlier, way before our spring semester starts. But again, something worth considering. And if you choose to go into the spring, you can stay longer. I know friends who went for their spring semester and stayed abroad until June, July. Because when you are renting an apartment, usually the minimum is 6 months. Not in every country. For example, in the Czech Republic, the minimum is 1 year, but 6 months the least. So some people stayed longer because they paid for their apartments for a longer period of time. People tell me like, well, why would you go in fall semester? It's so cold. If you are in Europe, it's cold even in the spring semester. If you are starting February, March, and you are, I don't know, in Poland, Germany, it is still cold. So it doesn't matter when the weather is better, because no matter when you go, you will catch a little bit of a good season, like little bit of a good weather and bad weather. Or if you choose to go to the Netherlands, well, it's raining most of the time. So I would say that there is no option for good weather. Personally, chose the fall semester for several reasons. The first one, and maybe the most important, is that I'm in my final year and I have no choice. I cannot do next semester because I need to graduate. But the second thing is that Prague and Czech Republic and the countries around this are famous for their Christmas bazaars, and it was a dream of mine to go to a Christmas bazaar in Germany, in Austria, in the German-speaking world. Also, I really wanted to go to Oktoberfest. Uh, all of these events are happening during the fall semester, not during the spring semester. And the third and final reason is that I personally find AUBG spring semester way more interesting than the fall one, because most of the big conferences, the musical and the coolest events are happening in the spring. And before I move into how to choose where to go, I want to note something pretty quickly. As I said, a lot of people worry about courses, and that is absolutely okay and understandable. But I want to let you know that no matter what happens, you can overload. You can change your majors or minors requirements so you graduate on time. Professors at the UBG usually are very understandable and they might want to help you. So if you know that you want to go to Erasmus, don't overthink too much courses and focus on the important part, which is going to another country, exploring another culture, choosing destination. There are three most important things that you really want to think about when choosing where to go. I believe personally that the financial aspects is one of the most important of the three aspects, because you cannot live normally if you don't have the means to. And this might sound obvious, but a lot of people get surprised when, let's say, they let's say they've heard that France is pretty affordable, but living in Paris is very different than living in Lille or another part of France. So capitals tend to be more expensive than the other cities, and also housing crisis is a big deal in Europe right now, and it is different from place to place. But for example, everyone knows that in the Netherlands it's very hard to find affordable housing, no matter where you are, no matter if you're in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, um, Groningen, or whatever. It is hard to find. While it's not the same when, let's say, you decide to go to Poland. There are in Warsaw, there are housing options, but some of them are more expensive than others. So research the housing, how much approximately it will cost you, your day-to-day life, what are the prices in supermarkets, and what is overall the standard. The second aspect is the language. If you decide to go to Spain, you will find out pretty early that Spanish people, most of them, don't speak any English, like the bare minimum of English. Whoever has been to Spain might have had this situation when you are saying, let's say, beer, can I have a beer? And they'll look at you without understanding. So language is a big deal. I know that from Igor's story that in France it's almost the same. People don't know English, or they might not want to speak to you in English. So if you know another language that is not English, let's say German, Spanish, French, you might want to consider going to these countries because you have a background knowledge in this language. For example, I am in the Czech Republic, and before I came here, I didn't know any Czech, zero words in Czech language. But because it's a Slavic language, at some point I started understanding it, and now, depending on the context, if someone doesn't speak English, I can still get it. And the third aspect, which I believe is the most important when you're choosing where to go, is the university. Because we are paying so much money for AUBG, and I think when you are spending that much money for quality education, you might want to receive it when you go abroad. There are two types of universities in Europe, public and private ones. The public ones are usually, depends again, the better ones than the private. The privates are in some places, for example, in the Czech Republic, the private ones are considered as the ones that are for spoiled rich kids. And I've talked to people who have told me, like, what's the point of going on Erasmus when I'm going to study at a university that is public and that is for free? I am paying so much money for AUBG. Like, why would I go to a public one? Because the public ones are better. usually are better. So when you're choosing where to go, look at some kind of rankings or talk to people from this country, like which of the two unis is better. When I was choosing my uni for the Czech Republic, I got in touch with a friend who is from here, and I told him, there I have this option for these three universities. Can you give me advice on which one is better? And he told me, like, in the Czech Republic, the best one is the Charles University. Everyone knows about it, and usually their programs, he told me, especially in political science, is the best one in the whole country. So don't even think too much about it. Apply. And I am very satisfied with my choice for university. I think my uni is the best. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. But I have friends who decided to go to private university, and they told me that some of the times professors won't show up for lectures, and the level of English even is very, very low when it comes to the students that are studying regularly there. So my personal belief is that when you're spending so much money for education, spend them even when you're abroad for quality. If there is a place that you want to know what it's like living there, I think Erasmus is the best way to learn what is what life there looks like. Because when I was applying, first, I told you in the previous episode, I wanted Spain. I was sure that I want to go there because of my Spanish. But at the end of the day, I was like, whatever, if it's not Spain, like, will there be other point in my life when I'll be living in the Czech Republic? I want to immerse myself in another culture. So I know a lot of people want to see what it's like living in Denmark, in Germany, in the Netherlands. Go for it. If there is a country that you are so interested in their culture, in their lifestyle, please go on Erasmus, no matter what, because this might be your only time in life when you'll be able to go. And thank you everyone for listening to this episode. I hope that it was helpful, and I cannot wait to see you in the next episode. In the meantime, if you have any question, please reach out to me and I'll be happy to answer. Thank you. Bye.